All right, so the seventh house in astrology. So today we're going to talk about the fundamental meaning of the seventh house. And if you have any planets there, it can be very significant. And also, of course, whatever signs make up that seventh house will show you the qualities that come through this area of life. So the seventh house, essentially coming out from the sixth, is that last time we talked about the sixth house of self-improvement. And so now we come from, once we are refined, once we've improved ourselves on that physical level with self, which is the bottom half of the chart, now for the first time we come up to the top half of the chart, top hemisphere, which is about our extrinsic values, right? So this is a very big emphasis of the seventh house, and that's very much about relationships. It's very much about one-on-one connections. It's about karma. It's about balancing karma, doing the right thing, the just thing, and having balance in our life in general. So anything that has to do with balance, with relationships, such as even business relationships, romantic relationships, contracts, legal matters, all these things that involve two parties, and balance and mutual respect can be seen from the seventh house. And that's basically what it represents. Now we're back to an angular house. So this is a house where once it's, put energy into it and it's nice and solid, the other areas of our life are nice and solid. The other angular houses we talked about were the first house, which is once you have the strength of self and awareness of which is important to you in life, then that's a strong foundation. And then the fourth house is when things are good on your home and family level. Then things, then the other areas are that much stronger. Here, when things are good with your relationships, when things are good with balance and doing the right thing and morality in your life, then the other areas are that much stronger. So it's an angular house in that regards. It's also the top right quadrant. So again, top is that extrinsic, outward, ideal, outward sort of awareness, but personal. Interpersonal, which is the right side. So again, involving usually two parties or two things needing some sort of balance or, mutuality there. Now it's an air house associated with Venus and also Libra. So this is going to be, big quality of it also is very much about ideas. Again, relationships is there's that social quality about it, which is all about air there. Now, to balance the seventh house, you want to balance it with the first, because again, we're talking about the axes here. So opposite the seventh is the first. So if there's a lot of energy in the seventh, then, in the chart, such as planets and things like that, or depending on how your seventh house ruler is placed, a lot of that energy can be balanced by bringing attention to your first house, which is, again, the house of self and our own personal drives. Because it's not, if there's too much emphasis on other, then we lose sight. There's an imbalance. In order to create that balance, we have to have a strong attention on self, right? Which is about what we want, our own drives, our goals in life, and a strong sense of who we are. Once we have that, our relationships and all seventh house things sort of come back into balance with that. So that's the seventh house in a nutshell. Very simple. I always like to think of the scales, especially in terms of Libra with the seventh house, all about that mutuality there, business dealings, relationships, spouse, all these things can be seen from the seventh. And if you want more information on that, check to see if you have any planets in that seventh house. That'll show you the experiences in your life associated with this area. And also the signs. Everyone has at least one sign. And the seventh house cusp, which is also known as your descendant, is very important to this area. So whatever qualities those are, for example, if it's Leo, the Leo qualities of self-expression, of creativity, of playfulness will likely be a big factor in terms of how you interrelate and your relationships in general. Once you've done that, planets and the signs, then you want to look at the ruler of that seventh house. So in this example, it would be the sun, because the sun rules Leo. But I'll put a PDF down below if you want to see what the rulerships are, see where that rulership's placed both in house and sign position. And then you also want to look at where Venus is placed, because she's a significator of that seventh house. So if you want more information on relationships or whatever, check where Venus is placed. She'll give you a good idea of those things as well. And then through that, you're getting a good multifaceted picture of that seventh. All right, so if you guys have any questions, please let me know, and I'll see you guys all next time.